fox hunt. So we found two. That's what they had hid. So I'll see. Okay, so there's a truck with an antenna. Now the fox is out in the out in this park hidden. There's two of them hid out there. So I use my little Baofeng. So if you got a ham club around you and you don't have your ham license, you can still do this without a license because you're only receiving. So you could do it with a scanner, or one of the little probably get a Baofeng cheaper than you get the scanner. But it's yeah, it's a good time. It was south of town. We were on the other side of town. I had the camera out because we were doing it. The thing makes a beeping sound. I'll turn mine on.
Your turn. Frequency mode.
Let's see if it goes chirping here. So it doesn't. I know where the one is, and it's on the other side of the hill. So you can use this regular. I used this when we got here to the park where we could just pick it up on the little antenna, and then I used myself as a reflector. And like I said, right now it's on the other side of this hill. So, but this is the part I like the most. Is I like to make the antennas and stuff. So there's one I made. Jason's got one made out of a. There you can hear it. That's the little fox out there making noise. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit.
Any oil off them.
That's good.
Because I mean, at the first, we didn't think of that. We just sat there for hours and hours. It took us long.
Yeah, did you get that figured out on the...
Okay, so fox hunt yesterday. You saw the little bit of clips ahead of time, or before this. Hey, I was having fun, so I didn't get a lot of footage. But I was going to go through real quick and show you. Like I said on one clip, you don't have to have a ham radio license to do this. You can do this with a scanner, although you can buy a Baofeng $30 or probably less than $30 on Amazon. You can get a Baofeng. I don't know how much a scanner costs anymore. I don't hardly use a scanner because everybody is encrypted around us. So, but Baofeng, these are a couple different Baofengs. Extended batteries I put on these. This one I just throw in my truck every day when I leave. I put a different antenna on it. But really, to do it, you need a radio. Probably should have a directional antenna. Now, I'm getting ready to make, I actually just bought some stuff yesterday. My brother-in-law's got one of these that's made out of a tape measure. Some PVC pipe, some tape measure, and a short piece of coax. So I'm going to build one of those because this one is kind of heavy. These are aluminum, but it's a little heavy to be swinging around, and it's a little big. It won't fold up to throw back in the truck when you jump in to go. A compass, if you're not familiar with, should just have a compass, but this is a military one I had when I was in the Army. Has not failed me. It's been on elk hunts and bear hunts and been overseas, so. But yeah, you're gonna need a compass. I have a map of the county that I live in, and then I just I laminated it with it's like the clear shelf liner paper you get at the, I think I got it at Walmart, but I just map. Need a you need a notebook and a pen, because they're going to give you the frequency that they're running on. So you need to write that down. So basically the way this, I have another map. This is a gazetteer of the whole state, but that's also an antenna for the little radio. Like 25 bucks on it on Amazon. Won't work on my truck. My truck's aluminum. I'll have to figure something else out. But anyway, so how that starts is if you're ham, there's nets once a week that you check in on. So on one of the nets, they said they were going to have a fox hunt. So I have never done it. My brother-in-law lived over in another county, and they did them once a month. They did a class where they built the antenna. They talked a lot about the different ways to do different things to make it work better. So he said, "Hey, you want to go?" I said, "Yeah, it sounds cool. I've heard of them, but I've never done it." So we met at a park uptown, in the middle of town. They gave us a frequency. I punched it into the radio, hooked up the antenna, and I don't know, probably ought to have a watch or your phone so you can tell what time it is. Then they tell you that at a certain time they'll start transmitting. So the guy started transmitting. He talked in voice. This is just a tone, like you heard on the video, the dee 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 dee. It does that. I don't know. It does it for so long. It gives the call sign in Morse code, and then there's like a 20-second pause before it does it again. So he says, "Okay, I'm going to send a signal." When he sends a signal, that's when you take and you just kind of start turning. This is a directional antenna. So as you're turning, you can see on your radio the strength of the signal. So I looked at my brother-in-law and I said, "South?" He says, "It's south." So okay, so right away we knew it was going to be south of us. And they said, "Okay, once you think you got a heading, go ahead and take off." So we left, drove maybe a half a mile. We stopped at a gas station. I said, you get a bearing and stuff. I'm gonna run in and use the restroom and grab something to drink, and then we'll keep on moving. So I came right back out. He says, "Still south." So we got on a south road, went out of town. We were probably about a mile out of town, and we stopped at a big church, pulled in their parking lot. And at that point, when we started trying to get signal south, the signal wasn't south. It ended up being behind us. So then we knew that we had passed the fox somewhere. So we turned around and we started back. I think the only rules on these most of the time is they do them on a public access site. Someplace nobody's going to freak out if they see a half a dozen cars with antennas and radios, you know. So this one happened to be a public park. So as we were coming back into the town, I said, "Hey, I know there's a park right over here." So we drove that way, and sure enough, we drove right to it. So I'd say all in all, from start to when we actually found where the place was only 30 minutes. Now this is their first one, which is fine. They're just getting started, which I think is awesome. I belonged to this club for a while, but they just haven't been doing anything, I guess, that interested me. This interests me because I like making the antennas and stuff. I built this antenna probably 10 years ago and have never used it. So, I mean, it works. I hooked it up. I knew you could get a signal with it. So yeah, that's how it works. So once we got to the park, you saw in the video the pickup with the big antenna on top. You know, he said, "Okay, you guys found this is it. It's in the park here." So we just started working the park. When you get that close to it, there's different things you can do, but the easiest was I took off this antenna, I put on this antenna, and then I just held the radio to my body, and as I turned, it would get stronger or weaker, my body would block the signal. So I turned, okay, and so we ended up walking over and finding the fox stuck in the stump. So a lot of fun, kind of like geocaching with radios. And I know a lot of guys, I know there's a lot of people that buy these radios and they're gonna keep them for SHTF, but you can't buy this thing and throw it in a box and then when you need it, pull it out. That's not gonna work. So you need to know how to use it a little bit. This is one of Baofeng's newer radios. I want to say this thing, I know it was less than $30. And what I like about it is I can punch in, it's easier to program. These radios are all programmed off the computer. I got a cable that plugs into them. I got to go to a chirp site and put my frequencies in. Mainly because these radios I have a lot of repeaters in. Repeaters have offsets and all those kinds of other stuff that you need to put in. For the Foxhunt, all you have to do, if it's 146.000, you just type 146.000 and it's there, you're set. So
Welcome. Frequency mode.
and it shows the frequency, and then it has a little signal bar. You won't be able to see it, but there's a little bar that runs back and forth to tell you the signal strength. So yeah, that's what I did. Like I said, had a lot of fun. Met some guys. Notebook. I got guys. I got their call signs. I got their names. I met another guy there that he's an antenna guy. He likes to build antennas and stuff. And so I said, hey, we'll have to get together here. And I have a HF radio in the garage. And I have it. I think I have it set up. My dipole antenna, which is some wire that I've cut to a certain length and hooked up and strung up. I think it's 40 meters. But I've talked, you know, I'm in Indiana. I've talked Texas, Kansas. So you can talk around the world, and if you get the right frequency and or you get on the right thing and everything's working right. So fun hobby. And the test to get your license, to get your technician class, is really simple. I mean, it's you get a book, study the book. If you got a ham club, you just get a hold of those guys and they'll hook you up. They probably have books laying around. I don't know. I don't remember how long the books are good for. That test pool's good for 3 or 4 years, and then they change them. But you just if you just look around for a ham club close to you, if you're interested in it. Most of those guys are pretty helpful about helping you get what you need to get started, and you know, that's where I bought my HF rig. Is at one of the meetings, one of the guys came in and said he was selling some equipment for another ham had passed away, and he was selling a bunch of equipment for his wife, and so that's where I bought that. And everything I've got pretty much used other than these, and like I said, you can't beat the price of these on Amazon. And there's better radios out there. You can buy a Yaesu or an ICOM, but it costs a lot more money too. My first one was a Yaesu FT416. I got $400 for that. It doesn't work anymore. So I get a Baofeng for $25 and it quits working. I don't feel so bad. I just get another one. But so far none of mine have quit. They've done really good. I would suggest if you get one, you get a better antenna. This little antenna is okay, but that different antenna makes a big difference. It'll talk farther. So yeah, that's my Foxhunt. If you got any questions or anything, you can throw them in the comments there. I'll try to help you out. I am not a professional at no point in any of this. I just like tinkering with it. I probably play on the radio more in the winter when I can't get outside and do stuff. It's all set up in the garage. I can just sit out there and turn the dial and listen to different people. You do not have to know Morse code anymore. I mean, it's interesting. I have a couple different Morse code teachers I've tried, but I haven't got it. I talked to a man in the club that I think he said, I want to say 1948 is when he got his ham license. And he was a radio telegraph officer, I believe, in the Army, where they actually talked with Morse code. Older fella, and that's the only thing he does now. I think maybe these push 5 watts, and the little radio that he does Morse code and can talk anywhere in the world pretty much with, a watt or half a watt of power. So, and a piece of wire strung outside. So, pretty neat stuff. All right, thanks for watching. I'll quit rambling on. That's what I did. Something different. I don't know what we'll do. Not sure what we're going to do. I want to get down here and camp in the hammock again. So I think the weather's going to get better. It's supposed to rain this afternoon. And then I don't know. You know, eclipse today. They said it's the end of the world. But I've seen a few eclipses. Saw one in school. I think there was one in 2017. There was probably more between then that I didn't pay attention to. So hopefully it'll just get dark for about 10 minutes and then we'll be right back to doing what we're doing. So thanks for watching. Have a great week. We'll see you on the next one.